team that you talk about injuries, even without injuries, when we faced Bayern Munich last season, we couldn't get the win. Now we've got injuries. Even if we had a fully fit team, if we can't beat a depleted Bayern Munich last season, why would it be different against Real Madrid? Real Madrid that won the competition last season. Real Madrid that got heritage. Real Madrid that you were saying that your form in the Champions League is different to
they got heritage in 2006.
Okay,
but they got heritage in 2006.
We didn't win it. Where was that heritage?
We beat them.
Where was that
we didn't win it. I'm just saying.
Let me land my point. Let me land. You're talking about heritage. Let me tell you our heritage under this manager. We've been kicked out of the Europa League to Olympiacos, Sporting, teams like that. We did nothing. We didn't even get to a final in the Europa League. We're now in a better competition, a harder competition. We have no heritage of winning this competition. Even when we had a fully fit squad, we were unable to win Europa or pass Bayern Munich last season. The way that we're playing has been horrendous. The set piece goals, most of them are dried down. The way that we're playing is all over the place. We didn't get a striker. It's all great. It's all great against PSV when plan A works. When plan B, when we have to kick in plan B, we couldn't beat Newcastle in 3 attempts this season. Eddie Howe, we were unable to beat Eddie Howe 3 attempts this season. We were unable to beat Man United in the cup. And a Man United that we all know is in disarray this season. We were unable to beat. When you look at some of the games that we dropped points, look at the players that we had out. Newcastle, we lost. We only had Saka out. Man United, we lost. We only had Saka out. Fulham, we drew. We only had Saliba and Partey out. So our attacking players were available. We still only drew against Fulham this season. Aston Villa, we drew. We only had Ben White and Saka and Partey out. Everton, we drew. We only had Partey and Ben White out. Bournemouth, we lost. We had Saka and Odegaard out. Chelsea, we drew, and we had a full squad. When you look at this team, it's not about the injuries. We have not built upon our weaknesses from last season. So what makes you be so confident in thinking that with a depleted squad and the fact that the way that we're playing is backwards and this manager, in-game management, when it goes wrong, fails to get us over the line, what has made you now feel that the tide is turned because we beat PSV? Because all those things that you're unhappy with, the bench not being good enough, not having a striker, the fact that the manager's poor in his in-game management, which has led you to say that you don't want a manager here, still remains up against a European giant and the most elite club in world football, Real Madrid.
Northside, I'll just take you to some certain things I found out yesterday. Do you see what it means to see Arsenal play when the handbrakes are being lifted off? Have you seen what we're going to accomplish? This manager is completely a shitty manager. His tactics is completely keeping us out of the picture. We played yesterday against PSV without a striker, in my own knowledge. What if we got a striker to actually even score us goals? We'll be winning that game like 15-0 yesterday. See, we'll be winning that game with like about 15 goals. Let's call a spade a spade. See, Northside, no matter how you want to put it, in the domestically, we've messed up. But domestically isn't the European competition. I even really feel that European teams are quite weaker this season than most Premiership teams. And that's why I say that the Premiership is the best league in the world. No, you can add all those screws to it, no problem. I do think that in the Premiership, we play in a very, very, at a very high level. So if you even match up these teams, with some teams in top clubs in Europe, they will match them up. A team like Bournemouth was completely dominating Europe. I mean, let's don't sit down here and act as if Aston Villa hasn't just smashed Club Brugge out there in the last 16. And they could even go to the quarterfinals and sit us there. That's Aston Villa. That's not in top 4.
Hold on, Claude. Let me just say, you keep referring to Europe is different, First of all, we don't have the heritage. But I told you exactly what our heritage is in Europe under this manager. Being embarrassed by teams that we shouldn't be embarrassed by. Villarreal in the Europa League. This is our European heritage under this manager. Villarreal, Olympiacos, Sporting. Then we go to the Champions League, a dismantled Bayern Munich team. We can't beat them. When the manager already had his P45. You keep saying that Europe is different, but then you don't believe in this manager. You keep saying that this team plays better with a handbrake off but yet this manager consistently plays a handbrake up every time he goes up against a top opposition.
That elite team you're talking about isn't elite, because that team you're talking about isn't elite this season. I mean, they finished 15th in the Champions League table this season. I mean, let's don't sugarcoat this thing, yeah. They're not invincibles even in the Spanish La Liga. I mean, they're 3 points away from FC Barcelona, beating black and blue by Barcelona this season, both in the cup game and both in the league game. They got smacked up by Barcelona 5-2. They got smacked up by Real Betis. Lee Gunnar will put you in perspective on that one. I know he rates Real Madrid quite highly, but I mean, they're not quite the invincibles you think of them this season. They're quite beatable this season. Very, very beatable. Very.
I'm referring to them in the league, yeah? Are they 13 points behind Barcelona? Because we are 13 points behind Liverpool, yeah? So that is irrelevant. Second of all, yeah, you keep talking about they finished 15th. It doesn't matter. They qualified. They qualified. Who is the team that turns up when it matters out of the two? Arsenal or Real Madrid in the UCL?
Real Madrid, of course. Okay, but you can't deny the loopholes. But you can't deny the loopholes. That's what I'm saying. You can't deny the loopholes. And it's that loophole that I'm trying to see. You know what, yeah? Let's don't go to Real Madrid with a defeatist mentality. We have nothing to lose. We're already out of the Premiership. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We're out of the FA Cup. Why go to Real Madrid and show up with a defeatist mentality? Let's go there and show up and play. Let's have a go. That's why I said maybe the stars are back aligning. Let's just go. Let's have a go. We have nothing to lose.
Tony, let me just say this. So I agree with you about Europe. You know, I've been saying that on your channel that Europe in the main is in the mud. However, there is one European country that we can't overlook, and that's Spain. In terms of Real Madrid, in terms of Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, bro, sometimes you just got to use your eyes. As much as you're hopeful when you're doing this wing and prayer and you're hoping that everybody catches COVID before they play Arsenal from the Madrid side. The truth of the matter is, bro, your team is rubbish. Like, if you had your full strength team, if you were sourcing like you were sourcing last season, I would agree. I would say, you know what, Arsenal looking dangerous. They could do something. But this season, you have looked the most suspicious in the last 3 years. This season, we all knew that you were not beating Nottingham Forest. We all knew that the West Ham game was a dodgy game. We all knew that Newcastle was going to beat you. We all knew that the Everton game was a banana skin. Now, if these games are banana skin, bro, I'm looking at that Real Madrid team. Let me just remind you. Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Mbappe. You saw what Mbappe did to Man City. I know Man City hasn't been great this season. And I'm looking at your defense of Calamari. Calamari against Mbappe. Are we all right? Like, you look at your midfield. What is your midfield going to do? And then the most important thing, which is attack, because you need to score. You've got Martinelli up against Valverde. Saka might not be playing. You cannot, I can tell you now, if you're not careful, bro, if you're not careful, the 7 goals you scored against PSV will be put back by Madrid.
See, people, I'm not gonna sit down here and you know, be schooled by a sports fan about you know, our defense and about our attack. DG Sports, I mean, what position are you in the league table? I mean, DG Sports, you have no right to be here. It's two Arsenal fans that should be slugging this out. But I understand you're a big guy. I mean, I understand you're a big bad bully. But you know, you can't bully me. We've had shows together. I mean, you know this. You know I sling that gunshot too. But you know, see, DG Sport, I'm not going to be schooled by you about defending. DG Sports, I have the best defense in the league this season. What are you on about? Relax, brother. Relax. Calm down. Yeah, calm down. The only thing is just to release the handbrake. Yeah, I don't have a striker, but at least let's go to Real Madrid and at least churn out something like yesterday. Release the handbrake, Mikel Arteta. Let the boys play. We have nothing to lose. And since we have nothing to lose, that makes us dangerous. And you know what? Yeah, I'm confident about our back line. That's number one. But we don't have the offense. I know we have nothing to lose at this point. Just throw the kitchen sinker at it and let's see what we can get out of it. That's what I'm saying.
Your back line can stop Madrid.
I think so.
You're mad.
I think so. I think so.
Tony, can I ask you a question? Tony, can I ask you?
Man City side, they struggled against them. Not side. Let's don't have to see if we didn't smash up Man City by 5-1 or washed up Man City team. And this same Real Madrid struggled against that Man City team that we mashed up by 5-1. What I mean, why shouldn't we dream of having a go at this Madrid team?
Bro, they beat them
Let's
3-1,
not have to
bro.
say.
What are you talking about?
I mean, the first leg.
Comfortably as
But
well.
how many goals did they win in the first leg? They should be smacking them up by 6-1. That's a totally washed up Man City team. What are we doing here? That's a totally washed up and dried up Man City team. You should be beating them with high numbers. At least, I mean, that was what we did to Man City, innit? I mean, let's keep the consistency, yeah. Let's keep the same energy. And you know what, yeah, Northside, this is one thing I'll tell you. You keep the same energy. Bro, out of this space, yeah, you're the only one that I know that keeps the same energy. You said that we're not going to beat PSV. In that same vein, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just that same loophole that made you say, you know what, yeah, Arsenal doesn't have what it takes to beat PSV. Bro, I'm with you. I share that pain with you. On my shows, I say it. I share that pain with you. But sometimes, because we're not gods, per se, we're just mere mortals. Yeah, Deji knows a thing or two about the celestial beings and all that stuff because we do that on my show together before. He knows a few of these things I'm talking about.
Tony, can I say
There's
something?
that loophole. There's that loophole that we could actually face Real Madrid and get something.
Tony, you keep saying that, yeah? You keep saying, and I did say, I said, I don't believe that we beat PSV. You're completely correct in that, yeah? Cool. I may win the battle, I may lose the battle, but I'm going to win the war. Do you know why? Because ultimately, I said, if this manager doesn't win a major honor, I want him sacked. He's not going to win the Prem. He's out of the cups, and we're not. This manager ain't good enough, and the squad ain't good enough to win the Champions League. So you can have that one. Yep, I said we're not going to beat PSV, and we beat PSV comfortably. Yeah, we're already through, in my opinion. We're already through to the next round.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't negate everything else that I've been saying. The squad ain't good enough. You've also said you don't want this manager here. There's a basis to that. There's a reason why you said that. There's a reason why you want Arteta sacked. There's a reason why you've criticized the team. There's a reason why you think this season overall hasn't been good enough. What I don't understand is you keep referring to PSV, bro. The level of PSV and Real Madrid, bro, it's night and day. It's night and day. Yes, we can beat PSV. The main thing is this. I don't care about this journey to be proud of bullshit, bro. I care about winning the actual major honor. Yeah, and I felt the best chance we could have won silverware this season would have been one of the cups. That's the reality, because that's what this team has been built to do, to get over the line in one of the cups at least. We couldn't even do that, so we ain't doing that. We're not built to win the to Premier League and the Champions League when we need to turn up. Tell me a time where this manager, since the FA Cup win, under pressure, has ever delivered. He doesn't deliver. He doesn't turn up, and these players don't turn up, and he looks lost. That's why I'm struggling to understand how you can sit there and say, I want Arteta gone. I want Arteta gone. But you know what? Against Real Madrid will turn up. You're saying that Real Madrid struggled against Man City. They beat them.
I said we have a fighting chance, and I was clearly misquoted, you know, in that context. I said that we have a fighting chance against them. Many people in the charts, and of course the fellow panelists I had down there, were not buying it. They said that they're going to smack us up even before we even get to play them. And I was saying, hey, I'm not going to Madrid with this defeatist mentality.